Good morning. I'm Jared Anderson at USA Clean. I'm a technician here and also in the tech support department. And we will do a webinar on the systems of carpet extractors. A couple things to go over before we start. All attendees will be muted during the presentation. Please save your questions until the end of the webinar. Put your questions in the chat feature, and all answers will be emailed after. Alright, let's begin. So, carpet extractors. We will go over the solution system, agitation system, recovery system, the heating system, and the power systems. So, our standard extractor systems are going to be the solution system with the tank, pump, filter, pump, solenoid, nozzles. The agitation system, which is usually a brush device. The recovery system, tank vac motor, the infamous vac shoe with lids and floats. Heating system, and that's totally optional, depends on your model. And a brief look at the power system that controls everything. Alright, solution system. Number one, most important. We got to put the water on the carpet. The standard measure for a solution is going to be PSI. For the pressure. That's pounds per square inch. And we're going to measure the pressure at which the solution is applied to the carpet fibers. Your home models will be on the low end around 100 psi. Professional models will be around 100 to 400. And then the truck mount systems can get up to an astonishing 3000 psi. Extractor should be chosen based on the material that's going to be cleaned, so your hard, durable floors will be great with the high pressure. Now, upholstery and drapery, high pressure, could be damaging. Probably not the best choice. Alright, our solution process. So, solution mixture is stored in the tank. It's drawn through the filter by the pump. Pressurized after the pump, it's stopped by the solenoid. The solenoid releases solution under pressure upon activation. Nozzle creates a fan pattern to direct solution fibers into the carpet. That activation is going to be at the top of the control handle with a little push-button switch or a trigger. Common issues. Filters get clogged very easily. You'll notice this with the weak or low flow. You can get leaks around the filter, pump, tank, solenoid at the fittings and the hoses. Failed pump is going to be a weak or low flow. Solenoid stuck. Could be stuck open or stuck closed. If it's stuck open, usually you will see a continuous spray as soon as you turn the machine on. And when you shut the machine off, you'll get leaks at the front. If it is stuck closed, you'll get no spray at all. The nozzles can get clogged. You'll have no spray or a bad spray pattern. Instead of that nice fan shape, you'll get off to one side or huge clumps of water out the middle. And if they're worn, you'll also get a bad pattern. That they're usually a soft brass, and after years and years and years of spraying, that brass actually erodes away. So if you lose your nice tight fan pattern, you get almost like a leaky faucet effect. Agitation system. Agitation system's purpose is to work solution into the carpet and to loosen the dirt. Some basic portable machines will just have a wand, which as you move it across the carpet will work it in. Some of the larger home machines will have a brush system. So with the brush system, you're going to have two options. Your normal is going to be restorative extraction. This is where the brush deeply cleans into the carpet. Solution is sprayed directly on the carpet as well. And now the new thing that they're going to now is a soil transfer, or they'll call it a low flow or quicker dry time. And this uses rollers of a foamy material, spongy material, for a light cleaning. This is rubbed across the carpet solution sprayed on the rollers, not on the carpet, and this way you won't have a really soaking wet carpet when you're done. Because no matter what, you're always going to have a wet carpet when you're done with the extractor. Alright, take a look at the process on a restorative system. Usually found in walk-behinds and some riders. This is the standard extraction system. So after the carpet is sprayed by the solution system first, the electric motors turn the brush via a belt. The detergent works into the solution of the carpet fibers to loosen the dirt, and will also pull up some flattened and compressed pile of the carpet too. Then the solution is then pulled out via the recovery system. Soil transfer process. This is also found in walk-behinds and riders. This particular process we're illustrating here is patented by Tennant, and they refer to it as the ready space system. So, if the water is sprayed directly onto the rollers, not the carpet, the vacuum shoes pull excessive water out of the rollers. The damp rollers agitate against the carpet, and the soil transfers onto the rollers. The rollers are then rinsed back off by the spray, and then that dirty water is pulled out by the shoe. So you consider that as it's almost like a wet sponge rubbing across the carpet, and then you're bringing the sponge out in the sink and then getting it wet again and then rubbing the stain again. Key benefit here is, like I said, you're not soaking the carpet down to the fibers, down to the pad. So dry time's a lot quicker. Common issues in our brush system is going to be, you can have a worn brush, which is going to have poor contact with the carpet, barely any contact with the carpet. Worn brush bearings. In this you'll hear a rattle as it runs, almost like something's knocking around inside the front of the machine. You can also seize the brush belt completely with a bad bearing. Broken worn belt. Worn belts are going to squeak, and the broken belt is not going to spin the brush at all. And that broken belt may have been caused by a worn bearing, which seized the brush completely. Bearings get hot. Hot bearings melt plastic. Melting plastic inside the front of the machine can just ruin a lot of stuff. Brush adjustments. Some machines you can adjust the brush up and down for pressure or contact pattern. Now, if you got too high, you'll have no contact. You'll have pretty poor cleaning. If the brush is pressed too hard into the carpet, you can get, we'll wear our bearings down more, we'll wear our belts down more. We can even get into electrical issues where we're going to have an overcurrent situation on the motor, and we can pop some circuit breakers. And we can also damage the carpet. Alright, the recovery system. We put the water down, we're going to have to pick it back up somehow. The vacuum system is going to be measured in water lift. And you'll see this expressed in inches. Inches of water lift. There's some standard of a certain size column, and a motor of this power can pull water up this high through this column. Higher numbers mean more power. Water lift is more important than the number of vacuums. So say you have a machine that advertises they have a dual vacuum system, but their water lift is only 50 inches or 80 inches, but some professional models with a single large vacuum pull over 100 inches of water. That system is going to be more powerful than one with two vac motors. You may also hear them talk about airflow into CFM, cubic feet per minute. Still important, but you can move a lot of air, but if you don't have the power to pull the water through the system, it doesn't matter. Tank capacity is the next thing they usually measure in, and usually correlates to the size of your solution tank. Sometimes it might be even greater, just because you want a little extra cushion in your volume when you suck the solution out. Your standard portable systems in your home are going to be up to 12. Some of the smaller ones you even buy, like the Rug Doctors, might be 5 gallons. Truck mounts can get up to 100 gallons because they stay in the truck and they don't come in the house. Process for the recovery system. The vac motor creates a negative pressure in the tank, which then travels to the shoe, which is the metal piece that touches the floor, or the wand, if it's that kind. Pulls the dirt solution from the carpet fibers. The wastewater is then deposited into the recovery tank. Tanks will usually have a float or a sensor. Normally a float because they're pretty simple systems, to prevent the wastewater from entering the vac motor when it gets full. And that float's usually a ping pong ball in a cage almost. As the water level rises, or the foam level rises, that ping pong ball rises up, it contacts the input to the vac motor, seals it off, and prevents any more water from coming in. Some common issues with recovery: a loss of negative pressure, so it's going to be things like poor seal in your lid, maybe you got a torn gasket, maybe you got a hole in the hose. Usually you'll have to shut the machine off and address that before you can turn it back on. Uneven or streaky pickup, that's almost always a clog in the vac shoe, and like you see in the picture here, the best way to do that is just stick a screwdriver in there and kind of pull that clog out, because you'll get the carpet fibers and other stuff that's inside the carpet that just start to pile in one little corner, and then it gets bigger. That's going to affect the width of your cleaning. So you'll get spots in the middle that are nice and dry, and then spots that are still soaking wet. Other things I've seen: foamy leaks from under the machine. As you're running it, usually you'll get about halfway done, and at the back of the machine you'll see just bubbles start to appear. Usually what's happened is you've got a lot of foam in your detergent, and that foam is taking up space inside your recovery tank, and that's getting past your float. That ping pong ball doesn't always float on foam as much as an actual liquid, and that gets pulled through your vac motor, because out the back of the machine is usually the exhaust for the vac motor, and this is where this stuff's sitting there getting foamy and foaming up, bubbling out. And usually it's missing or a failed float, and that foam's getting past it. Over time, that'll corrode your vac motor. Heating systems, and they're going to get a little more complex here. Heat is needed to remove deep-seated dirt, greasy, oily dirt. Some carpets that need to be treated, but some need to be treated with cold water. Cold water is for a natural fiber carpet. Wool, it's out there. And stains that are colored. Carpet colored, not the stain. Hot water systems are good for synthetic fibers and petroleum-based grease and oil. Hot water extraction, a lot of companies call it steam cleaning, which is not correct. It's not true steam. Water needs to penetrate the carpet, not just lightly mist over. Steam cleaners do exist. It's more of a disinfection kind of process for hard surfaces. But in the realm of carpet cleaning, you don't use actual steam. You have your dual heating units that get up to almost 212 degrees. I've even seen portable units that advertise they get over 240, 260, which is above boiling point. But consider this, that they're under such a high pressure that actually raises the boiling point of the water, and it's got to travel from the heating unit to the wand, and in that process of that long tubing, that water's going to cool before it gets to the nozzle anyway. Guys like to advertise that every 18 degrees increase, the cleaning ability doubles. Took a while to try to verify that. It's a nice advertising point though. Now your heating systems, they're going to draw a lot of power, so you're going to need 2 plugs. And this is critical. After the pump, solution passes through the heat exchanger, and then the hot water hits the carpet fibers. Big issue with these guys is going to be you need 2 circuits. You see these machines, they have 2 cords hanging off the back, and one cord will be Could have a red end or a red sleeve around the plug. That's going to be for your heating supply. You combined the heater with a pump and the vacuum and a brush, if it's got a brush. That's a lot of amp draw, and that's going to be more than one household or one commercial circuit can handle. We're talking 40, 50 amps. Most commercial 120 outlets are going to be about a 20 amp or a 30 amp plug. So, and you overcurrent through the wrong outlet, you're going to get consistently popping breakers, which are annoying, and melting wires if the breakers don't pop. A lot of machines have sensors internally where they can detect if both plugs are on a separate circuit or not, and if you're not going to get the heater. It just simply won't activate. You usually have an indication line on top that'll tell you if they're separate circuits or not, and that's kind of handy. Power systems, more often than not, your Extractor is going to be an AC model and it's going to have a cord. So you're going to plug into a wall. Basic commercial home units are going to have one cord, and then, like we just talked about, the heater models are going to have two cords. Battery, you can get battery-powered machines that are going to be similar to your auto scrubbers. In fact, some are even just an auto scrubber chassis with an Extractor head instead of your standard scrub head. Gas-powered units are going to be your truck mounts. Yeah, it's going to be your big vans, big yellow vans that sit outside in front of someone's house with the big 3-inch 4-inch corrugated hose being dragged through the front doors and through the windows as they clean their carpets. And to summarize, solution is pressurized, released saturated fiber. Agitation system uses wands or brushes to work the solution into the carpet. The recovery system uses a vac motor to create negative pressure to extract dirty solution from the carpet fibers. Heating is available in some models to improve the cleaning action. Power sources can range from cords to batteries to gas-powered engines. Alright, that will conclude this brief seminar on Extractor cleaning systems. Thank you. If you have any questions, go to usaclean.com or call USA Clean, 1-800-USA Clean. Thank you for attending.